talking about credibility being at stake, it is not just the academic institutions. We see traditional institutions like fondoms and their funds. We see fresh tensions emerging in Etome village in the west coast of Fako, where residents have petitioned the colonial SDO for Fako, challenging the legitimacy of Ndumbe Andreas Essenje as third-class chief. In a letter dated 22nd February and seen by local media, the villagers argue that Essenje's designation on the 6th of February 2012 was carried out illegally, and they are demanding a formal investigation into the circumstances surrounding his installation. Now, within the framework of Ambazonian rhetoric, the dispute extends beyond local chieftaincy matters. It touches on a long-standing grievance that the colonial administrative system of French Cameroon has steadily inserted itself into traditional structures in southern Cameroon, reshaping or imposing leadership in ways that undermine indigenous legitimacy. Now, under the inherited centralized administrative model, traditional rulers are often designated or recognized through state structures such as the senior divisional officers, rather than solely through customary process, which shouldn't be the case. But then critics have argued that this system only enables political influence over grassroots institutions, effectively aligning traditional authorities with state interest rather than community consensus. For many in Fako and across Ambazonia, traditional chieftaincies are not merely ceremonial roles, but they are custodians of land, culture, and communal identity. Allegations that a chief was imposed or irregularly designated revive deeper anxieties about the erosion of self-determination and the gradual absorption of local governance systems into the orbit of Yaoundé's control. The villagers' demand for an investigation, therefore, carries symbolic weight. It reflects a call not only for procedural clarity, but for respect of customary law and the restoration of community agency in determining its own leadership in a territory where institutional autonomy remains a sensitive and contested issue. We see that even a chieftaincy dispute becomes a microcosm of the broader struggle over authority, over identity, and over control. And while this dispute of that fun goes on in Bangolan, there is another chieftaincy dispute where Bangolan, which is located in Buyi County in the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, Bangolan is once again at the center of a traditional governance dispute, and as the contested fund has announced plans to return to his fundum after nearly a decade away. Fund Chafa Isaac, who left the village in February 2016 and has since largely operated from Yaoundé, where he reportedly established an annex palace, said he would soon visit Bangolan, a community currently facing cultural and traditional tensions. His continued recognition and protection by the administration of La République du Cameroun, despite reported dethronement by the sacred Ngumba Regulatory Society, has intensified debate. Within Ambazonian rhetoric, Buyi County is not merely an administrative unit, but a historic and cultural space governed by deeply rooted customary systems. The installation of or protection of funds by the central administration is widely viewed as an infringement on traditional processes that are the exclusive responsibility of kingmakers and designated elders within each fundum. Traditionally, enthronement is sacred, guided by lineage, ancestral customs, and the authority of secret societies like the Ngumba. When external state authorities intervene, critics argue it disrupts this spiritual and communal order, effectively subordinating indigenous governance to colonial administrative control. The Bangolan case is therefore seen not just as a local leadership disagreement, but as part of a broader pattern in which Amazonian traditional institutions are perceived to be diluted or even overridden, For many, a firm ruling largely from Yaoundé while claiming authority over a referendum in Boyi County symbolizes detachment, leadership in absentia, shielded by state structures rather than rooted in community consensus. And at its core, the controversy revives a deeper question central to Ambazonian discourse. Who has the legitimate right to define and regulate traditional authority? The people and their ancestral institutions, or an external administrative regime?